Portfolio Builder members, today we have a exciting trade alert. We generated a profit that is 4 times greater than what we normally aim for. And of course, our goal is to generate around 1% a month with absolute capital protection. And we do that by writing covered calls against the SPY. Here's the instructions for today. First, we're going to buy to close yesterday's 275 call option. There's a huge profit on that. I'll break it down in a moment. Then we're going to sell to open the May 13, 279.50. That's one contract per 100 shares of the SPY you own. Let me just scroll down and look at the two trades. So buy to close, yesterday's trade, we came into that with almost $10 credit. We can buy it back for $8, and the SPY went basically nowhere between the two periods. We lost like 30 cents on the SPY, but picked up around we'll look at the math, but about $1.50 on the covered call in terms of profit per contract. And that's much higher than we normally go for. And we did it while protecting our assets, so that's great. Today's trade is not quite as deep in the money. It is sell to open. So this is after you've covered the last trade. Now, if you're just getting started, you would purchase your SPY shares first. And for every 100 shares you own, you have the right to sell one covered call. Today's covered call is the 279.50. So now that strike price is what's important today, not the credit. So whatever the credit is, don't worry about that. This is the strike that I like. I'll show you why. The open interest, which is where some large investors are willing to buy the SPY, is at 280. So we went right below that at 279.50. And this only has to protect us from now until Monday. Now I do want to keep in mind we have the sniper hedge. This is what you should have. For every 100 shares of SPY, you should maintain ownership of one of these put option contracts. And that's at that 264 strike, expiration July 19, 2019. So that's what we're doing. We're able to protect our capital. Our profit is doing nicely. Everybody else is freaking out right now. We're just slowly growing the account. And we're doing it at a rate that's 4 times greater than normal. So typically I just want to get $25 a contract, 3 times a week, 52 weeks a year, and be able to also let my SPY shares appreciate. Well, right now is not a time to worry about growth. Right now is a time to worry about protection. And luckily, because volatility has spiked, we can now get paid a huge premium by stock speculators who want to bet the market will rebound, and they're basically paying us to insure our assets and generate profits. So let's just look at the detailed breakdown of what's happened. And I'll first pull up a chart just so we can look at it. I'm going to get off this video rather quickly today so we get this out on time. But the market's been going through a lot of volatility. This week has been pretty horrific for people who are just buying and holding. Our covered calls have done a great job keeping our portfolio basically flat during this period, and now finally making some profits. So this week the market was down about 4%. We only lost 1%. Today we've created a profit while the market is continuing to crash. And so that's the power of the covered call. And we also have that 1% hedge, which can actually double our total return in the next month. So if we do get a pretty horrific crash because the trade war escalates, our total return may jump from 5% to around 10% between writing the in-the-money covered calls and then getting a huge profit on that 1% out of the money hedge. So here's a summary. The SPY basically traded down from 283.33 to 283.01. That was a 32-cent loss on the underlying asset. Which is okay because we're in it for the long run. We're going to hold the SPY for the next 30 years, so we're not too worried what it does in the next week. But of course, we don't want to have unrealized losses, so that's why we wrote that deep in the money covered call. The covered call we were able to purchase back for a $1.25 profit per contract. So we sold it for a credit of $9.23, and we bought it back today for $7.98. Now, you may have gotten different numbers, but in general, we predicted a pullback. We got it, and now we're rewarded from the covered call losing time value and intrinsic value. Plus, the volatility level helped us generate extra profits. So we made around $93 a contract. That's a huge return. If we pull a $93 profit 3 times a week, we're looking at almost 100% annualized return. So I don't expect to do that. Our actual target is more of around 15 to 30% a year with extreme protection of capital. So don't expect that, but today was a nice payday for us. Now the new trade alert, the math on that is we pulled in a 475 credit. You might get a little different. It's fine. The prices are all relative to the SPY at the moment you trade it. But there's a baked into the cake profit. If we're wrong and the market flies higher, we're going to make $1.25 a contract if they exercise the call option. Now, this gives us about $4.75 of protection, which is less than we had from yesterday to today. But I think we've already had, at least in the short term, quite a bit of the pain from the tariffs rising, which we accurately predicted. And there's a big order up at 280 to purchase quite an amount of SPY. So I think we'll be able to make it from here till Monday fine in all outcomes. Now, is there a chance that it could dip lower than that? Sure, but we do have our out of the money put option to continue protecting us against something really extreme. So that's today's trade alert. Continue to slowly build the account with absolute protection. Looking forward to our trade alert Monday. And we have, don't forget, a live webinar Tuesday and Thursday next week. So thanks again. And just real quick, if you're in our Diamond program, you're sitting pretty. We predicted this as far back as last Tuesday and the week before, actually. We've been playing it safe. And you can see we're still sitting on ample protection in all of our Diamond positions. So this portfolio will realize a great return come Tuesday. And has actually performed twice the return as our basic program. So when you do upgrade from a free trial to the Diamond, actually to the basic program, we're going to give you 30 days free in our Diamond level membership. So if you have at least 150K, this portfolio is very nice. And I'll explain more about it on Tuesday's webinar. So thanks again, and looking forward to a new Trade Alert Monday.